Greetings from the library cave. I am Aspen Dracaena, your friendly neighborhood Ice Dragon Bookwyrm VTuber. Hi, how are you today? Palia works! I got it working. Hooray. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Let's see, what can I tell you about today? Today was crazy at work. Day 2 of being minus 1 employee due to COVID, which is the but yeah, we're surviving. It was just a very messy day, and there were some mistakes made and some things done and stuff I had to correct, and yeah, so I'm kind of worn out. So this is supposedly a pretty chill game. I'm up for a chill game. I think that's a great idea. Hopefully it won't be too brain intensive, because I'm not sure I can handle brain intensive right now. I mean, I'm just a silly little Pataroo dragon right now, so, you know, we're going to be silly little Pataroo dragon for a while. This is the game that I was supposed to play last week, and it didn't work out because it was being, it was in maintenance. They were maintaining the game. I didn't realize this game is in beta, which is interesting because it's been out for quite some time, I think, but it's in beta. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Anyway, let's see. What else have I done? Oh, you know those little Miniverse kits? I was at Walmart and I found some that were in clearance, and because they were Halloween, and I opened one. I didn't realize it had resin in it, and I didn't realize you had to make the item inside. But my only knowledge of the Mini Brands kits, or Miniverse kits, or whatever, is somebody who had a bunch of book ones. So I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was surprised because there's assembly involved, and I was not expecting to assemble. So that will be interesting to play around with. Anything else? I can't really think of anything other than, yes, I did not get to see Wicked this weekend. I was dumb. I was looking at the wrong day for the times. And because I live in a small town, the movie theater only does matinees on Sundays. They don't do evening shows. So, Human Mother and I, we will be going to see Wicked on Wednesday instead, I think. Weather permitting. Hi, Panda. How are you? I don't have a Christmas tree. I know you do. I don't. I was thinking of getting one of those. So Squishables has Christmas trees that are plushy, and I thought that would be cute to get. Hi, Mac. How you doing? I was tempted at one time to get one of the plushy the plushy Christmas trees from Squishables, but yeah, I don't know. I have things to think about for the holidays. I'm not quite sure what to do. Anyway, yes, let's play Palia. It's a game called Palia. That's a game, and we're playing it. So let's get started. So I tried this, and I accidentally started the game before, and I hurriedly turned it off. So hopefully it will still show me the opening sequence, because I missed that. So let's see what happens. Photosensitivity warning. Do not play while tired. You guys, I don't know. Should I play this while I'm tired? Oh, it's a photosensitivity warning. Oh, because of epilepsy. Yeah, okay. They're just being careful about epilepsy and seizures. Cool. All right, so be a responsible neighbor. We will take care of ourselves and our emotions responsibly as we play. Yep. We will use the tools provided to us in-game to keep everyone, including ourselves, safe. We will protect our personal information, and we will not ask other players to share theirs. Reasonable. Be a kind neighbor. We will embrace... Oh, a ladybug just landed on my monitor. Oh, thank you for subscribing again, Gaspin.
Just subscribed for 4 months.
Alright, so be a kind neighbor. We will embrace diversity and reject discriminatory language, behavior, and bigotry, and build a kinder world hand in hand. We will work together to uphold a welcoming, tolerant, inclusive community. Yep. Reasonable. Very reasonable. It's how I like to run my streams. Be a helpful neighbor. Every player is new at some point in their Palia journey, and that's okay. We will work together to help new players and welcome them into Palia and the community. Cool. Alright.
Now, where should I start?
Where should you start? Ooh. I am choosing that one. Hee mustache. Okay. Let's see. Which one looks like me? Not my Padaru model. My actual model. I'm thinking either this one. I think that one. Without the mustache. Can I take off the mustache so I can see what I'm doing? Wait. How do I get rid of the mustache? Unequip. That's a little easier. I like the mustache, but it's just a little confusing for me because I'm trying to see the whole face. Or this one? This one, I think. Okay, skin tone. I mean, we all know I'm pale. We all know I'm very pale. Oh, I can turn her around. Okay. Eyes. Oh, should I do the blue eye or should I do the gray eye? Because this one is like one of my eyes. But I have another eye that's like that one, maybe? And my other eye's like that. Should I do the more turquoisey eye? I'll do the turquoise eye. Alright, voice.
Yoo-hoo!
Yoo-hoo!
Oh!
Oh!
Hey!
Hey.
Hey!
They won't give me the option of heterochromia.
Hey! Hey!
Hey, oh,
Ha!
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, alright, that was hilarious.
Oh no!
Oh no! I think I'm like 3 or 4.
Hey!
I'll do 3. I'll do 3. Okay. Hair. Can we find my hair? So first of all, my hair is like that. Let's just do everything that for now. Let's see. Hair. You know, this game has given me the same problem Final Fantasy did, which is now I have to make the hair perfect. Should I do a cute little sassy braid? Some pigtails. I mean, I think that's closest to my hair. Or I could do a braid. Or a ponytail. Or pigtails. That's actually really cute. That is very cute. What about this one? No. No. I'm thinking either... I have Palia downloaded, but I've never played it before. I'll play it at the same time. Cool! Yeah, maybe we can find each other, Shark Effects. This is what my hair... No, that's actually not what my hair looks like today. But here, let's do this. This seems appropriate. All right, so primary color is that white. Secondary is, I think it's a darker blue. Maybe that blue. There we go. Okay, eyebrows. I think my eyebrows have a little arch to them. Oh, I can't change the eyebrows. They're just the shape that they are. My eyebrows are pretty much just black. Okay. Hair dye patterns. Oh. So underneath, no, I want it like this. That's more like me. Okay. Face cover. I have no face cover. I'm afraid I do not have a fuzzy face, so I will skip that. Face accessories. I'm gonna go without. Yeah, let me go back to the face. Face shape. No. Maybe that's more me. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. No. My nose is pointy-ish. I guess. No. No. Maybe. See, now I'm like just driving myself crazy here now. I like how this one looks in the picture, but I don't like it on her hair here, so what about this one? No. 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 No, I'll just leave her that way. Or no, maybe this one? Okay, we'll go with that one. Okay. No face accessories. Clothes! Oh boy, they have options. Primary color. We need some blue up in their space. Well, that's cute. Actually, I like that. That's very cute. Feels a little impractical, though. I wish to be oh so fashionable. Oh, hi, Ocha! How you doing?
Ocha Pup just traded with 1 views.
It's so good to have you here. Oh, look, this shirt has a dragon on it. I hope you have had a good stream. I was watching a little bit while you were playing Factorio. And if you guys, I'm just going to take a quick moment. Ocha is doing Jingle Jam this year, and he's going to be streaming a lot. And he is doing his part of the donation for Jingle Jam. It's going to be donated to the Trevor Project. Ocha already is at, I think, last I saw you got to around £175 because it's a British organization. So that's like about almost somewhere around 200 US dollars, which is awesome. So if you ever have a chance while Ocha's doing Jingle Jam, stop in if you want to donate some money. Really should. Trevor Project is a fantastic organization. I'm a big fan of it, and you know, you get free games when you donate. Ocha is doing something where if you donate a certain amount of money, he will draw a picture for you. He did one for me, which was really, really cute. So definitely spend some time, some of your time, you know, even if it's just to go and watch a little bit. Go watch Ocha's streams, because I think it's really cool that Ocha's doing this. So that is my shameless plug. I shamelessly will plug my friends, especially if they're doing something really, really cool and really awesome, like, you know, supporting a really good organization. So, what do I wear? I am having a hard time. Palia is making me have a hard time deciding what to wear. Maybe purple. But this is really pretty. You know, I'll go with this. I'll go with this. That's really pretty. All right. Let's go for some pantly garments. Okay. There. No, I played it when it was in alpha. I haven't picked it back up in a while. Ah, okay. Do I want to do that? I feel like boots are very, like, appropriate. Oh, boy. Too many options. That's actually kind of cool with the thigh-high boots. What if I do that one? Oh, okay, so it just makes... I like it better this way. I'm gonna go with this, I think. Here. That is our outfit. That is our outfit. Or should I... No, I want to do purple. No, I should... I should be more Aspen. I'll be more Aspen colors. We are looking at the same pants. Yeah. Should I be more Aspen colored? You know, have some blue. I don't like how that one looks as much. I think, okay, let's do this. I feel like this is a compromise, because that's a purpley sort of black, but it has blue. And that's me. So, oh good, and I have to choose eyelashes. Okay, I think those are kind of like my eyelashes. Or maybe... Okay. What do I look like? I don't know. Okay, let's go with that. Okay. Or do I want that? Because this is, I don't know, that's a little much. That's a lot of makeup. That's more reasonable. And that's more... Okay. Alright, we'll go with that. Alright. Okay. I can change my appearance later if I have to. Okay. That's good. Got it. Aspen. Aspen. Dracaena. Aspen. Meh. Yes, I will play Palia as Aspen Dracaena. Yes, I will. Look at how cute I am. I am a cute person. Dragon person. Okay, let's go.
Time for you to go out into the world. I have high hopes for what you can accomplish.
Okay, y'all, I want to tell you something. Before the stream started, I flossed my teeth. I know it's a very adult thing to do, but I flossed my teeth because there was something between my two front teeth and I just couldn't deal with it. So I flossed my teeth. I don't know why I'm telling you. I just am. Okay. This is very pretty. Okay. There we go. Hi.
Oh, a good day for research, don't you think?
Oh, my dragon. Yes, I am a dragon. Okay, what is this? Nervous about getting to know you. Okay. I have descended. I'm actually really good about flossing my teeth. I got into the habit, so it's at the point now when I don't, I feel like my teeth are really yucky. Alright, so she is nervous about getting to know me. Okay, it's alright. Did you just materialize from nowhere? I honestly have no idea. More like from a spiraling pink void. Not sure, but I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm here, aren't I? I feel like the first one is me. More like a spiraling pink void. You know, these are actually in the exact order I would say them in. So, there. Right, you probably don't know any more about your situation than I do. Does that change anything here? No. It's just none of the other humans knew either, which leaves me right back at square one. Other humans? I'm not a human, I'm a dragon. Yep, you're not the first human I've seen in Palia. Just the first I've seen, you know, appear in a giant cocoon of light. We should slow down. Why don't you take this map and head into town where you can talk to Ashura, the innkeeper. He's been helping others like you get settled in. I would help you myself, but I'm working on something here, and I am this close to figuring it out. I was so caught off guard, I realized I forgot to introduce myself or explain why I'm here. The name's Gina. I'm an apprentice scholar searching these old ruins. And this here is my research assistant, Hecla. Plus 100 focus, okay. Be sure to ask her if you have any questions. I've got to get back to the grind. Okay. It's a typical WASD format. Okay. There's Hecla. Alright. And that is Hecla.
Please state your needs.
Hello, human. I know you must have many questions about your spontaneous emergence. Oh wait, what does it say? Doesn't seem to care much about you one way or the other. All right. Your presence heralds much change in the world of Palia. What am I? Who are you? Why was your friend so freaked out? I'm kind of thinking 3. Organic beings are often shocked at the emergence of new things, are they not? True. of this world has not seen your kind in thousands of rotations. Be patient with it as it learns to accommodate you once again. The world is accommodating
My
to you.
Nina needs me.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. That's really pretty. Okay, well that's cool. It has kind of a compass at the top. All right. Ashura and Kilima. This is really pretty. All right. Anything to find? Okay. All right. And that was where the whole thing started. With the thing that thinged. Okay. Jump. Yep. Okay. DD for turn. Climb. Okay. Fair enough. Anything to find? Can I find things? Are there findables? I don't think so. Maybe not at this point. Alright. And cutscene. I feel like I'm not necessarily in a video game. Like, I'm more in a, like in a Pixar movie. Okay. Let's see. I can go multiple ways, I guess. Can I go up there? Ooh, I can jump on top. Okay. Let's see. Oh, whoever it is that way. Using your compass. The bar at the top of the screen is the compass. Yeah. I kind of figured that. Pinned quests will appear on your compass. If there's an NPC on the compass, it means they have an important quest dialogue for you. Got it. Wait, let me see if there's anything interesting over here first. So this is where... Wait. Alright, so that's where I exited from. This is another area with stuff. Cool. Cool. And there's an interesting room here. With a very interesting door. Okay. Alright, I have not exited anything yet, Shark Effects. I am going into town. La 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 la. Okay. Alright, I just found a person.
Hello there, friend.
That's Ashura. Okay. Hi there. It's always good to see a new face in the village. Welcome to Kilima. I'm sure this is quite a lot to take in. I'm Ashura, the innkeeper at the Ormuz Horn. Unfortunately, there isn't any room at the inn right now. Huh, interesting. But we do have some old plots where you could build yourself a tent. What do you say? You want to take in the great outdoors? Nothing like sleeping under the stars. I'm not the camping type. I'm just glad to have a place to sleep. Yeah, let's just call it that. I would want someone to set me up with a place to sleep and something to eat if I materialized out of nowhere. Sure. Wait, what does his friendship thing say? He's happy to welcome you to the neighborhood. Yeah, he seems that way. Are you okay there? Okay, why would I not do the same for you? So let's see. To build a tent, you're going to need to collect some materials. I've got an axe here for you, but you'll have to talk to our resident miner, Hodari, about the pick. Lucky for you, he is checking out the plots right now. So why don't you head over so you can meet him? Be safe out there? Okay. Huh. I don't know, Shark Effects. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a server thing? What are those? It's a manly elf. Okay, meet Hodari at the housing plot. Okay, I'm guessing this is Hodari.
Huh?
Scumming along. Wait, what does it say? The kind neighbor who's always willing to lend a hand. Okay. Scumming along. Got a lot of trash left, though. Oh, hi. Hodari Pavel of Pavel Mining. What can I do for you? Ashura sent me for a pickaxe. You can tell me how you got those biceps? Am I in the right place? Hi, I'm Aspen. I mean, the only polite thing is to say hi. Aspen, huh? Interesting name. I assume Ashura sent you over. Been sending a lot of new folk my way lately. It's the whole reason I'm checking out the soundness of these campsites. Don't need you all buried in mud. In fact, this one's about ready to use if you want it. Just needs a bit more work. I see you've got an axe already. Here, take this pick, too. Always good to have the right tool for the right job. Use them both to clear this debris, would you? Look at that guy's forearms. Those are pretty impressive forearms there. They were talking about the biceps, but look at those forearms.
Sure.
Tool wheel. Hold R. Okay, select the desired tool. And release. Wait. There we go. Pop-eye. Yes, exactly. Pop-eye forearms. Clear some debris on the plot. Okay. Let's chop something up. Alright. Backpack. You received a new item. Various activities in Palia will reward you with loot, which will go into your backpack. Let's open the inventory screen to see more details about what you got by pressing L. Open your inventory. So, I guess that's my backpack. This is your inventory where you can see everything you've received from gathering, crafting, questing, and more. If you find yourself needing more space, you can purchase backpack upgrades from Zeki's shop in the village center. Got it. You can also see your gold, renown, and Palia coin balances here. Next, we'll check out the quest pouch and see that shiny new battery you just found. Click the exclamation point above your items. Navigate to the quest pouch. Okay. Welcome to Palia. Pin quest button. This button toggles whether the quest is shown in the HUD tracker. It is time to prepare a place for yourself. But first you need to clean it up a bit. Use your axe and pickaxe. I'll get a work table. And we'll be buds. Okay, cool. Community. Friendships. Party people. Events. Navigate to the quest pouch. Oh, okay, here we go. You have unlimited storage in your quest pouch, and all unique quest items will automatically go here when you receive them. Ancient thing. Okay. Got it. The relationship screen tracks the progress of your friendships and romances. Romance. Oh my. Level up friendships to get additional quests and rewards. You can level up friendships by giving daily gifts and chatting with NPCs or completing quests for them. Don't forget to keep track of your daily gifts. Gift giving is a part of Palian life. Interested in romancing someone? Once you reach friendship level 3 with them, give a heart drop lily or a box of chocolates and ask them out. Okay. Okay. So I have sapwood and I have plant fiber. Alrighty then. News, collections, premium store. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Let's break some more stuff up. Breaking things. Okay. So I guess I need to go say hi again.
You need something?
Still lots to do, but it's a start. I found this weird thing. Huh. Found a lot of strange things in the mines, but not sure what this is. Well, you found it, so keep it. It's your plot after all. I've got other plots to inspect, but there should be space to drop this work table down now. I suggest you focus on getting a roof over your head and a place to keep your things before you worry about glowing tubes. Bye.
You're still here, huh?
Yeah, I am. Okay, you have received a workbench, which you can use to craft lots of exciting recipes. Let's place it on the plot now. Select the workbench by navigating to it in the item bar with Q and E, and then pressing left shift when you have it highlighted. Okay, hang on. Where do I want to put it? Let's put it like right by the entryway. Okay. So I've got 3 and then let's do that. Okay. Alright, so I need to craft a wooden storage chest. I need to place your storage chest. Craft a tent at the workbench and place your tent. Alright, let's see. Let's chop some more things up. Make some space. Alright. This is very Animal Crossing. Alright, let's see. Anything else I can chop down? What is that? A mountain moral. Cool. There's another one. Alright, let me see. Let me use the pickaxe. Okay, here we go. Okay, got the feel of this. Get some loot there. Yeah, this is reminding me a lot of when I first started playing Animal Crossing. We put ours in the same place. Okay. Boot. Okay. Let's see. Alright. So let's see. So I need to craft a tent at the workbench. Alright, let's do a tent. We've got plenty of stuff. Alright, and then, I mean, let's just put the tent over here. That makes sense to me. Oh boy, that's a big tent. Okay. And there we go. Place my storage chest. Okay. Wooden storage chest. I need more sapwood. Okay. So I probably have to cut down some more trees. Let's see. No, didn't mean to do that. No, I want... No. No. Alright, what if I... Okay, why is it not letting... Okay. There we go. Sapwood, sapwood. Oh, should I do this? That's plant fiber. I need sapwood. Here, how about this one? Okay. I think that was enough. Yes. Make. Let's make stuff. Okay. Where do I put it? Do I put it in my tent or next to my tent? Place your storage chest. Let's place it in here. 6. Okay. All right. And talk to Ani when he visits. Okay. Well, let's do this. Okay, whatever. I'll just walk around with it. I don't know.
How's it going?
Ani, okay. And that one says Oh, this is a friendly guy. Okay. Whew. Good, you haven't left yet. My mom, Delilah, told me there was another new human in town, and here you are. I ran all the way from the farm here. She wanted you to have this housewarming gift. Fresh dairy from the Daya family farm. Welcome to Kilima. And I wanted you to have your mail. I'm Ani, and I handle all the deliveries around here. Cool, cool. Twice a day, every day, rain or shine. 6 in the morning and 6 at night. So I think it's safe to say my job is about to get a lot more interesting. Do you like getting mail? You look like someone who would like getting mail. I love getting mail. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, when you get a package in the mail, it's like, woohoo, score. All right, good. Then I bet you'll be happy with what I have for you. What does he have? Come on, go check it out. It's your first mail delivery ever. It's a +1 milk. Okay.
Gonna catch some bugs now. Bye.
Bye. Enjoy your bugs. Open the mailbox. Dear Aspen, I have been informed by Gina that you have emerged fully formed from the swirling mist. This is wonderful news. Happy day of mist birthing to you, new human. Oh, I remember that. Who doesn't like Blue's Clues? Other humans call me Einar, and I would like to share with you the joy of fishing. Please take this rod into your possession and seek me out at your nearest convenience. I shall be located at the pier for the next few millennia. Okay, I guess he really likes fishing if he's going to be there for that long. Hassan. To whom, or Hassan, I don't know. To whom it may concern. City Hall requires I send these letters to new residents. You will find a bow and set of arrows in the attached package. City Hall also requires me to tell you that I'm available to tutor you in their use. During work hours, you can find me in Kilima Village. This is not an invitation to waste my time. I am busy. Okay, so I get a bow, arrow, and I have a recipe to make arrows? Okay. Did I claim that? I had not. Alright. Red. Yeah. Okay. So I have a fishing pole. And I have a bow and arrow. Alright, ammo pouch. You've received some arrows. These, along with smoke bombs and worms, are kept in a separate ammo pouch. And don't take up backpack space. Let's take a look at our ammo pouch now by pressing L. Okay. You've... Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Inventory. Now, just click on the arrow icon above your items to view the ammo pouch. Aha. As you collect more ammo and upgrade your tools, you might find yourself needing more space. You can upgrade your ammo pouch by visiting Zeki in the village center and purchasing more space. Okay. Increase focus by eating. Alright. Alright, so I think... Okay. And milk. Okay. There's some flint. Okay. Return to Ani. Okay.
You see any cool bugs?
I think he's a little too excited about bugs. So, how are you settling in? This plot's huge. I heard you can find some pretty cool stuff in the dirt. My dad found an old copper arrowhead in our yard last week, but all I ever seem to find are rocks. Well, I found this strange artifact. Oh, wow. What does it do? No idea. I bet Gina might know. She's always hanging out in the ruins. You should see if she's found something like this before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. In all the excitement, I brought a present for you too. A Bug Scout's official belt. And a set of smoke bombs too. I'm a member of Kilima's best and only bug catching club. I gotta run now, but if you stop by later, I'll give you some tips on how to use them. Okay? But I bet you're hungry right now. You should talk to my dad, Badru, to learn how to grow food. And Reth, who works at the inn, can teach you how to cook it. Okay. You know, everyone's waiting to meet you. Come on, I'll race you out.
Bye-bye.
Okay, leave your housing plot. Okay, can I get... I don't want to... Oh. Oh, there. Okay, so... Open? That's a sales bin. Oh, okay, so I can put stuff in there that I want to sell. Okay. Next. Items are picked up for sale each morning and evening. You get paid. Okay. Alright, so we're talking similar to the bin outside of, here. I'm gonna gather some morals. Because I have morals. Got 3 more morals. 5 is a good number. We'll just call it that. There's enter to chat. Press enter. Ah, okay. And then party nearby server. Nearby. Party whisper. Community. Okay. Alright. Parties. Play together. Invite players to join the social panel. Okay. So, blah, 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 blah. Welcome to Palia. Ask Gina about the strange artifact. Talk to Badaru to learn how to garden. And talk to Rev. Oh, I'm standing right inside of somebody. That's a little weird. Okay. Alright. We're so happy to welcome you to Palia. We started Singularity 6 in order to create new worlds that deepen players' lives, and we hope Palia lives up to that for you. As a new startup studio, we're excited that you found your way to Palia. It can't live without players like you giving it a chance. If you like what we're trying to create and want to support Palia further, the biggest thing you could possibly do is simply tell friends and family about Palia. It would mean the world to us. We really hope you enjoy exploring what Palia has to offer. Welcome home, the Singularity 6 team. It's really sweet. Okay, so I've got Gina over there, somebody over that way, and somebody over that way. So I think we're just going this way. The world of Palia is filled with exciting quests and characters to discover. Open your map to see for yourself. Oh, nice. Okay, the map contains information about active quests and allows you to locate NPCs. Press the center scroll button on a location or NPC portrait to place a marker of your own, and it will show up on the map and in-game compass. You can change which quests you have pinned by accessing the quest menu. The quest menu is represented by exclamation point. Okay. So that's my house. And this is where I'm heading. Alright, pinned quests, mysterious object. So those are the completed ones. Okay. Alright, we got this. This is very, very pretty. Although the trees look kind of like dreams. Gina!
Sorry, I was in my thoughts.
Let's see. She's still nervous. Hey, Aspen, it's good to see you again. Did you get settled in all right? Actually, I found something you might be interested in, or if you call straining my back finding this object, all right. We might be different servers.
Huh?
Really? What is it? Oh, wow, I can't believe it. This thing is an ancient flow battery. These were the power sources for the ancient humans. I've been looking all over for something like this.
Huh.
And you say you just found it under some old junk? Guess I'm just lucky. Must be fate. I'm not really a believer in fate per se, but this is some coincidence. It might take me a bit of time to figure out what this does. I'll send you a letter once I know something. Alright. Alright, so now I have to talk with Badaru. Wherever that is. Okay. Do, 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 do. Let's see. Oh, the ad's starting in about 10 seconds. So, as soon as it starts, I will just not do anything. I guess this is supposed to be snow. Alright. So here, let's do this. All right. I don't really have anything I am doing. I have my drink. I like licorice, you guys. I'm going to admit to this. I actually have some licorice sitting right next to me. So yeah, true confessions. I'm one of those weirdos who likes licorice. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know what to talk about. Let's see. So, I've got my weird little mini verse thing. So one was a Beetlejuice one. The other one is Lord of the Rings. And I think what you do with the Lord of the Rings one is you recreate one of the swords from Lord of the Rings. I think that's what it is. I think you can make like the One Ring or a sword or another item. At least I think that's what it is. I don't know. I think I'm gonna just leave the Lord of the Rings one closed for now. Because I'm very, very, I don't know. I don't know how these things work. So, yeah. It'll just hang out over here for now next to me. Next time I stream, I will probably be streaming from the library portion of the library cave properly. I'm really looking forward to that because that way I can sleep a little more peacefully in my bed. That will be really nice. Yeah, so I'm going to be working on that tomorrow. And I'll probably have to do some snow shoveling too, because we're supposed to get a lot of snow. So, it is what it is. I'll just accept it. But yeah. This is where I live. It snows half the year here. So, I often end up having to do a lot of snow shoveling during the winter, which is, maybe it's not so bad because that means I'm getting some exercise. It's easy when it's winter to want to just stay inside all day and do nothing. But it's really important to get outside during the winter, even if it's a little cold. Don't go out if it's too cold. But, get a little sunshine. It's good for you. Touch some snow. I know some people say touch grass. I say touch snow because I'm an ice dragon, so I have to. It's just part of me being an ice dragon. Anyway, looks like the ad break is just about up. There it goes. Alright. Ad break is over. Alright, let's see. There we go. Okay. Just hanging out. Okay. Alright, let's go in. Am I supposed to be in here? Wait a moment. La da 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 da. I mean, this is cute, but maybe this isn't where I'm supposed to be. Won't let me open. Okay. That's Zeki's room. I don't need to speak with Zeki. There's an arcade game. Heavy metal. Chirpa? Ooh, and that looks like an apothecary's cabinet. Interesting, but maybe I'm not supposed to be in here. Or at least maybe I don't need to be in here right now. Okay. I need to find whoever... Okay, where? Just, I'm... Okay. I'm just going straight away. Okay. Look, it's so cute! Look at the little guy. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm a nice person, I promise. Oh, and a little lady... Oh my god! What is this? Ooh, a sundrop lily. I hope it's okay that I picked that. I'll pretend it's okay. 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 This way. Somewhere over here. This building. Wait. 40 meters. 36, 30. Okay. I'm getting closer. $19. Okay, I think they're in this direction. Okay. Somewhere. 25. Okay, I think they're in that building. Alright. Looks like a little outdoor stand. Cool, cool. And a little shack. Okay. Let's go in this building. I think one of these people are gonna be somewhere in here. Okay. 4, 12, 10, 9. No. Somewhere? Hello? Hello? $9 meters, 876, 54. Oh, maybe they're upstairs. Alright, let's go upstairs. And Delilah. Okay. Chat with Badaru.
How are your crops doing?
There you go. Well, if it isn't another friend I haven't met yet. He looks very enthusiastic. What does he say? He's a farmer who seems more into joking around and telling stories than he is farming. Okay. I'm Bedru, the farmer, and I sense we have some good times ahead. Oh gosh. Seriously? Dad jokes already? Okay. Did I mention in addition to farming, I also do stand-up comedy? Can you teach me to garden or chat with Badru? Let's ask him to teach us to garden. Seems like it's a thing we do in this game. You've come to the right place if you care about fresh quality produce. Okay. Honestly, I'm impressed to see you going after what you want. If I had that kind of gumption, maybe I'd be doing more with my life than just making ends meet. I'm just kidding around. Farm life's great. Especially if you love the smell of Ormu manure in the morning. I'll admit it's a bit of an acquired taste. I'm sure it is. Tell you what. Meet me on your plot later and I'll walk you through the steps. Okay, let's chat. Potatoes are the worst crop to harvest. They're so low to the ground they really throw out my back. Okay. Now I need to talk to Ref, who is somewhere. Whose room is that? Oh, that's Ani's room. Nio and Ani. Okay. Delela. Okay. So now I need to find a person. I need to find Ref. Oh, wait, hang on. So there's somebody that way. Okay. Learn how to cook. This should be interesting. That's really pretty. What is that rock over there? Hang on a sec. Can I go up there and look at the rock? Because there seems to be a rock up there that's kind of interesting. Are those lizards? No, what is that? Okay, I'm not gonna mess with it right now. Whee! Okay. Let's go find our bakerly friend, I guess? Ref. Oh, that's Ref. Okay. Hi, Ref.
So much to do, so little time.
All right. Oh, hey, you're one of the newbies, right? Yes, yes, I am. Okay. The cook at the inn seems friendly enough, but you don't really know him. Okay. Name's Ref, but you can call me Trouble. Oh, no, he's one of those guys. In addition to being bad news, I also provide Kilima with delicious soups and stews over at the Ormu's Horn. Okay. Stop by later, yeah? Always happy to chat with a friendly new face. Can you teach me to cook? Well, there, you gotta learn to walk before you can swim. Unless you're a fish, but I'm like 97% sure you're a human. Only 97? Well, you know, your 3% would be more accurate because I'm a dragon. Why don't you start out by making a campfire for your place? Once you start grilling up shrooms like a champ, we'll get you started on the complicated stuff. Oh, if you don't want to be stuck in a tent for the rest of your life, probably a good idea to talk to Kenley next. He's the mayor, but hey, I won't judge either way.
Stop by again soon.
Okay. Talk to Kenley about your house. Craft a campfire. I mean, Badaru at your plot. Okay. Bing bong bats. Okay. No, I think this is... No. I think I need to go a little further around. I think. Yes. Yes. Okay, this person lives a little ways away. gel. Okay. Oh, thank you, Parsimon. How you doing? All right, here we go. This looks good. This looks promising. Okay. Or maybe. Maybe not. Maybe yes, maybe no. Oh, what a pretty yard. Aha.
Oh, goody. Someone to chat with.
Greetings. Oh, wait, let's see what his thing says. Happy to welcome you into the village, but not happy enough to force the issue with Esh. I'm good. I'm a little tired today, but I'm good. But I'm often tired, aren't I? I'm like, all the time, I'm like this. Here. Yes, I'm like this. And I'm like this. That is me. Okay. Greetings, I am the Honorable Kenley Bahari, the firstborn son of the late Kenjun Bahari, the 118th Duke of the Bahari province, and brother to Kenyara Bahari, the current Duchess of the Bahari Provence. I am mayor of this fine village, and it is a great pleasure and honor to welcome you here among us. Alright, I wanted to ask about getting a house. A house, and you're asking me? Well, personally, I inherited mine. Have you tried that? I don't think I just spontaneously inherit houses. Thank you. I want to build my own. Oh, right, yes, of course. Because you have just moved in, or your plot didn't come with one? No matter. I'm sure I have the paperwork around here somewhere. Just give me a moment. Oh no, where is it? I shall tell you what. Go find Tish, our resident carpenter. I'm sure she'd be delighted to get you started with some nice furniture while I locate those farms. Okay. It's almost time for work. Forgive me if I take a few more minutes to enjoy the peace of the great outdoors. Okay.
Don't tell Essie you saw me.
I won't. Talk to Tish. Okay. I did not mean to run through such lovely, lovely hedges. Okay. Alright, somewhere down here. Kenyatta? Kenyatta is not Tish. I am looking for Tish. Tish? Donde está? Oh, there's the little flag. I think that's Tish. There we go. Well, she's cute.
Good to see you.
Hi, welcome to the valley. I'm Tish. I run the furniture store. Are you new in town or just passing through? I just moved in. I just materialized. I did just materialize from a void. A purple and pink void. Well, that sure sounds tough. Yeah, that's true. What does it say? She loves her job of making and selling quality furniture. Got it. When my brother and I first moved in, it took us a little time to adjust. And we were just coming from one town over, not another plane of existence. If you need any help with any of the locals, don't hesitate to ask. I'm known as a bit of a grump whisperer in these parts. Right? Kenley sent me. I'm so glad you're going to live here. I was trying to come up with a good welcome gift. when I realized a house isn't much of a home without furniture. True, it'd be nice to have a bed, at least. So here's some simple recipes for you to start with. If you're tired from all your hard work, why not build yourself a place to sit or a table to eat at? My friend Jell insisted you have a wardrobe, too. He's a tailor. And he always says looking your best makes you feel your best. Even if there is something you can't make now, I'm sure inspiration will strike as soon as you start building. Wait. Filling item requests and giving gifts improves your relationship. I don't know. That's my reputation. That's okay. Alright, I don't know. Can't wait for the Magi Market tonight. You'll be there, right? I'll see if I can make it. If you do end up making it, don't forget to come say hi to me. Okay, we're friends now, I guess. Cool.
Nice chatting with you.
Alright, I've got a buddy. Alright, so next task is what? Go back home? Wait, where am I on the map? So that's the village. That's my home. Unmet villagers. Lots of people. Okay. So I need to return to the housing plot. Ah, perfect. Oh, there's Badru right there. Visiting friends. Why not say hello to a friend? Drop in on a friend while they're home by interacting with this signboard. Understood. So, that signboard? Visit other plots. Friends. Party members. Server. Okay, so there's different servers. Okay. There's definitely different servers. Okay.
What brings you around here?
Good to see you again, Springbean. This place is already starting to look different. I figured you'd still be working on setting up that tent. That's some work ethic. Work ethic's my middle name. Not much else to do around here. I like making the place feel homey. I do too. Just the right answer. I'm sure you're gonna fit in here just fine. Is he sticking... Is he... Lemming? Maybe not. I bet you've been working up an appetite from all that chopping and mining. Well, if you've got patience, I've got the solution to your woes. Gardening. All you have to do is wait a few sun cycles and voila, dinner. Or breakfast, even lunch if the mood strikes you. I know, it doesn't sound exciting, but trust me, nothing tastes better than a carrot you've grown yourself. I've got all the tools you need right here, too. Go on. Why don't you drop this plot down and give it a good till?
Let us make this day a great one.
And make sure garden plot is on your action bar. Okay. Aim where the garden plot should be placed. Okay. Once your plot is down, press and hold R and select the hoe. Till the ground with the hoe. Place seeds on your action bar. Okay. I think. Mainly crops. Many crops can be harvested at once. And so the cycle begins again. When crops are ready to be harvested, simply press F to harvest. I think I got exactly none of that, but let's go. I guess this is a good spot. My action bar is full. Ah. Okay. Is that good? Okay, and there we go. Alright, till the soil with your hoe. Alright. Wait. There we go. Oh, I have to hold it down. All right. Okay. I don't know what I just found, but okay. Alright, interesting. My first tilling discovery. You got your first item from tilling soil. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Okay. We got some clay. Maybe I can craft something from that. Okay. Alright, so. Return to bedroom. Okay. Alrighty.
Well, howdy, Sproutling.
You might be wondering what to do next. Unfortunately, seeds don't plant and water themselves. Well, I know that. You're gonna need some of these bad boys. Consider them a housewarming gift. Once your seeds are in the ground, you go to the pond and fill this up this here watering can, and that'll give the dirt a nice little bath. It might take a few sun cycles and a few buckets of water, but trust me, it'll be worth the wait. Some things you plant might have an effect on the seeds around it. For example, carrots and onions keep weeds from growing next to them. Interesting. If you find yourself needing more seeds, you can pick them up at Zeki's. Well, I can't wait to see you again, neighbor. Oh, that would have been funnier if I'd given you wheat seeds. Gotta work on my material.
Call me an orange, 'cause I'll see you around.
What? Okay, I've got some seeds. Got carrots. Alright, so. Okay. Okay. And then 4. Okay. Alright. Water my seeds. Water bucket. Refill watering cans from the nearby pool. Okay. Press and hold R to select watering can. Okay. Crops will never wither. Progress is only paused until they are watered. Okay, where is the pond? Okay. Ah, there we go. Pond! What? And there we go. Alright. Aw, look how pretty it is. What a lovely day. I'm gonna spill all that water before I get there. Okay. Alright, a chair, table, or wardrobe. Wait. Okay. So, chair, table, or wardrobe. Okay. Wardrobe. I need more wood. Chair. Table. Alright. I think we have to take down some more trees. Okay. Alright. Time to chop down more trees. Sorry, friend. There we go. All right. Oh, this is not just bringing about memories of Animal Crossing. This is reminding of me when I started working on my brother's farm. And we did forestry management because there are a lot of dead trees in the forested part of his farmland. So we went through the forest and he would chop down the dead trees, which is something that is always smart to do because those dead trees could catch fire. So, you know, you want to clear out the dead stuff and keep the stuff that's alive. So we did, yeah, let's see, wardrobe. let's make the wardrobe. So yeah, we cleared out a bunch of the dead brush. A bed. Oh, that's not a bed, that's a couch. Let's go place our wardrobe. Okay. 3. We had one huge tree in our backyard that it was at least 3 stories high. It was such a safety hazard, especially in an earthquake-prone state like California. Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get it. Having spent a lot of my life in California, I understand completely. Because, yeah, you eventually cut it down, though. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate, but sometimes you really do need to cut things down, because you don't want anything that's dead that can, you know, become potentially unsafe. All right. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing that's a shelf. A wall shelf. Let's learn that one. Log cabin wall shelf. Okay. Let's place a table. Let's place the table over in this corner, right here. Okay. 3. Okay. We had a big tree in front of the house. We couldn't do anything about it because the city said no. I think it was 4 stories tall. It got blown down by a big windstorm. Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate. You know, like, I love the idea of keeping trees around, you know, around my house. Actually, one thing I'd love to do is... Ooh, nice. One thing I'd like to do is plant a tree somewhere on the property where I am living right now. But, you know, I need to ask permission from the landlord, of course. But I'd like to have some kind of like a cherry tree or a peach tree or something. I'd have to find out if it's actually an okay area for that. I'd have to find like a good species that can hold up to winter. Then I need to make a chair. Perfect. Yeah, sakura tree. Oh, okay. So that looks pretty cool. That's like a dresser maybe, and that I don't need decorations right now. A sideboard. Okay. Okay, chair. Let us put down the chair. Nice. Okay. Alright, and then I have to craft a campfire. Oh, look, there's Kenley right there.
Ciao, goody.
Alright.
Someone to chat with.
Wonderful news. I found the forms under the bookshelf in the records room. They're only a little crumpled, too. If you can just sign here, here, and here, I'll be able to get you that blueprint. Okay. Yes, and here too. Oh, and here. Oh my gosh, he's Tom Nook. There we have it. And I even remembered to bring the blueprints with me. These are now yours, Aspen. I suggest you plot the frame down as soon as possible and get building. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do believe it's time for my break. Okay.
I'm too famished to keep talking.
You have received your first house. In order to place it on your plot, you'll need to open the housing menu. Press H to access that now. Okay. But I have this lovely... I don't know where to put it. H. Now select the Harvest House blueprint from the top of your items panel. You are now in placement mode. When the outline is yellow, the placement you have chosen is valid. If the outline is red, something is in the way. Harvest House blueprint. I can't put it down right now. I have no space for it. Okay. Crafters. Blueprints. Okay. So I might need to clear some things up. I guess I'll just clear up this whole area. Or I can move my makeshift tent. Okay. I'll move that for now. And then, I'll go back. And I'll clear some of the stuff up. If I didn't have a cottonmouth, I'd whistle Tom Nook's theme every day. Put mine in the left corner. Yeah. Let me clear some of these things up. I'm sure I'll need all of this stuff to craft with. And hopefully I'll be able to plant some, like, decorative trees or something. Because I really want to have some trees around. Okay, let's clear out all the trees. I think the house I lived in for the longest in California had an olive tree in the backyard, but it didn't produce olives, but it was an olive tree, and it was really pretty, and I used to like to climb in it. It wasn't very big, but yeah, I liked to climb in it. All right. Okay. Oh, hey, Digirama, how you doing? But, you know, it's funny thinking about that tree, not being a very tall one, but liking to climb in it. Like, I've just always been known as somebody who likes to climb on things and perch. And, human mother used to worry about me sometimes because I'd just go and, like, just balance on things and stuff. And she'd be like, oh, no. No. But, you know, I felt totally comfortable and fine just climbing on things, so I guess that's a me thing. It's probably part of why I like to sleep in beds that are tall. I don't know. It probably helps that I don't move when I sleep. Oak amber, interesting. I I'm going to be able to build a lot of stuff. Okay, and now I think I'm going to leave the big trees if I can. I'm having a hard time with this. There we go. That was weird. Okay. I'm sure I'm going to figure it out eventually. Okay. 4 miles is a good goal, I think. Came in late. What game is this? This is Palia. So pretty much it's kind of a similar type of game to an Animal Crossing kind of game. You kind of get a parcel of land, you build a house, you grow stuff, but there's also, it seems like there's some storyline stuff too to this game. And there's like a social component to it. So you can actually, you know, make friends in the game, talk with people. Yeah, it's cute. But it's nice because it doesn't feel quite as cute as Animal Crossing. So yeah, I'm trying to figure. Right, no, I don't want to stand on it as I destroy it. That might not be smart. So right now I'm just trying to make space to build my house. Seems like there's a storyline to this game, so more like Harvest Moon. I think so. I don't want to stand it. Whack my leg! Not my leg! That was my favorite leg! How dare you hurt my favorite leg? I mean, I guess I can make do with the other leg, but that was my favorite leg. Okay. Let's see. Place the foundation of my house. Let's try again. We can put it right there. Let's just do it right in the corner. That's me in the corner. Okay. All right. I'll put the makeshift tent over here. All right. Okay. Oh my, who's this person? In order to finish your house... Oh, it's Tish. In order to finish your house, you'll need to contribute items to the construction site. Access the contribution menu by interacting with the sign in front of your new foundation. Interact with the construction sign. Okay. Alright. Tish. What?
Nice to see a new face.
Oh, good. You're still here. Kenley mentioned he found the blueprint for your house, so I thought I'd stop by to give you some other helpful tips. If you want to finish your house, you'll need stone bricks and sapwood planks. So get comfortable with wood cutting and mining. You've met our innkeeper, Ashura, right? He can teach you to make a sawmill for those planks. And Hadari sells the stone smelter you'll need for the bricks. If he's not in the village, check Bahari Bay to the east. That's where he lives. I'm so happy to hear you've decided to make Kilima your home. I'll have to stop by again soon with some housewarming gifts.
Hope you have a wonderful day.
Okay. Alright. No. Oh my gosh. Okay. Stop. Don't want it anymore. Put it away. I don't get it. Okay. Alright. Maybe it's just a little. You may need to contribute items. Yeah, we gotta have contributions. Be a darn shame if that cement never showed up because I couldn't pay my hospital bills. Okay. You can add construction materials all at once or a little at a time. Anyone who visits your housing plot may also contribute materials. Well, that's nice. People can help you. Cancel. What do I have? I don't have planks yet. Alright, so I need to obtain the recipe for a stone smelter from Hadari. Wait, do I have mail? I do have mail. Look at that. Dear Aspen, looks like you've been improving your foraging skills. Why don't you stop by the inn later? I'll teach you how to build a sawmill. I can put your supplies to use. That's nice, people. We can help you. Union, union, union. Union, union. Don't be a scab. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Let's, travel, I guess. Let's find Ashura. Oh my gosh, you're right. Sawmill and Frostpunk, you are so right. Okay. Alright, Bethany, I'm getting out of your way. And other people. Okay. I'm just gonna jump over things. Jumping over things. I'm taking the quick way. I think I'm taking the quick way, but maybe I'm not. Okay.
Are you in need of sustenance?
Hecla, apologies if I appear distracted. I was just playing mental chess with Einar, and we seem to be close to a conclusion. You don't need a steam core for a basic level sawmill. True. What was that, and why did it sound like a red panda laughing evilly? Oh no, we need to get Panda in one of his streams laughing evilly. As it's Do not distract me. I am monitoring Gina's breathing patterns.
I will be here.
Okay. So, wait. Where is he? He's that way. Is that a library? Is this a library? It's a library. It's where my people belong. It's magical. It's simply delightful. Oh my gosh, I could spend hours in here. Ah. It's so nice. Look at all those books. Can I climb up here? No, it won't let me climb. Well, that's too bad. Yeah, books and climbing. Anyway. So what have we learned about me today? Books, climbing, licorice. Okay. I'm that person. So something I find very interesting is how popular licorice is in certain European countries. Ashura. Here we go. Mystic got me good on the Astrobot a little while ago, too. Alright.
Take a load off.
I know starting out in a new place can be tough, but you've been doing a great job. I thought I'd help you out. I've got a couple of recipes for purchase that might make your life a little easier. You'll probably want to get a sawmill first thing to turn some of that wood into planks. Don't cut any fingers off. I have no coins. How do I handle this? Sells for a very high price. Okay, so all recipes, items. So I need to sell some stuff. Okay. Alright. Don't get any fingers off. Okay. And if people are in despair, make a Thunderdome. We don't need another hero. Okay. Spooky legends. Old well is haunted. Monster roaming the forest.
Be safe out there.
Okay. So I need to sell stuff. So I can have coinage. And that's an issue. Okay. Map. Mayor's Estate, Fisherman's Lagoon. Where can I sell stuff? Tavern, City Hall, Library, Furniture Store, General Store, Tailor. Alright. Let's go to the General Store. Okay. So we were at the library. Over this way? Oh, wait. I can set a goal in the map. Okay. Drop a waypoint. Okay. Oh, alright. General store. I'm at the back of the gym. Okay. Alright. Okay. Can I go through here? Can I sell things? Owned. Sell? Okay, sell item. Anything else? Okay. All right. Now I can go back to the tavern. And the tavern is there. So let's... Okay. Well, that's helpful. Could just make waypoints everywhere so I don't get lost. Watching Santa Claus is coming to town gets to the part of Santa having a magic snow globe that watches everything. As a kid, it's to hide you picked on your sister, and as an adult, it's to hide your browsing history. Ugh. Hey, as somebody who writes, oh my gosh, we have the craziest browsing histories.
Another beautiful day.
Okay. Foraging Guild Star. Alright. Basic sawmill. Purchase item. Yes. Okay. Chat. It's been a while since we've gotten the attention of a traveling board, but a few stop in on their way to Bahari. You know, the nearby town of Bahari is actually a pretty big trade port. It connects our island province to the rest of Palia.
Take care.
Okay. So, obtain the stone smelted from Hodari. Okay. Hodari. Where's Hodari? That's Tish. Unmet villager. Where's Hodari? That's Kenley. That's Bedru. That's Ani. Hekla. Oh, Hodari, where are you? Hodari? Should we go there? Alright, well, let's do this. Let's drop a waypoint. Okay. M. And I get ads galore for the next 3 minutes. Oh, we're in an ad break. My apologies. I shall stop for a moment. Okay, you know, I'll stay on the map. Ani. Alright, actually, I'm gonna be right back. I need more water. Okay. Did anybody get any interesting commercials? Any fun ads? Because I get really weird ones that don't always make sense. You're back! Yes, okay. Alright, so let's go on our merry way. Tyson chicken. All right. General Insurance, Meta, Fortnite, Samsung SSDs, Peloton, Hyundai, Tucson, Red Bull, Star Wars Skeleton Crew. I was not paying attention. I get some really weird ones. Sometimes I think it would be fun to have a Peloton, but they're so expensive. Like I don't know. Thing is, I actually really like exercising a lot. You would think that my body would be in better shape because I like exercising so much. But I actually really do like exercising. I did have a gym membership at one point, and I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. So when I started at the gym, they had like a free thing where you could have a few sessions with a personal trainer. So I signed up for that because I wanted to try it out. Because, for me, cardio is easy exercise. Like, I that's not hard for me. I'm totally comfortable doing cardio. It's no big deal. I like it. The thing that's harder for me is doing, like, the muscle building exercises, which, I probably should work on more. It's better for helping out your okay, it's somewhere up there, I think. All right, but it's better at helping build up your metabolism. So yeah, I definitely want to work a little bit more on some muscle building because it's actually pretty it's good for you. All right, 14. Where are we? Wait, 7? Wait. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Interesting. Wait, where's the map? A little Breath of the Wild stuff here. Yeah. Oh, I guess the person is moving around. Okay, let's find them. Okay. Let's not die. Okay. That way. Let's sprint. Yeah. Okay. Where are they now? Oh, is it? Hey, wait a moment. Over here? What is this? Hi. Einar.
I feel much
Oh, hello.
today.
You seem to be another new person. Unless I have previously made your acquaintance, in which case my apologies for forgetting you. I am often too distracted by my oneness to take notice of such things as meeting new people. And there seem to be so many new people lately. What is the oneness? Silly human. The oneness is merely the oneness. The oneness cannot be learned by listening to the sound of air as it moves through your face flaps. It must be experienced. Just knocked out 4 miles, first time. Good for you. That's awesome. For me, that experience usually involves much fishing. Ah, this is the fishing guy. I didn't finish what I was saying, by the way. So I worked at the personal trainer, and the personal trainer told me that I worked harder than all the women he'd worked with and about half the men, which made me feel really good about myself, because I think if I tend to be somebody who, if I do it very deliberately. What is the oneness? If this calls for waiting for an asteroid after drinking the Kool-Aid, I'm out. I agree. I understand the reference, and I agree. I'm not going to be that weird. But yeah, it was very nice to have my personal trainer be like, yeah, you work hard. But, you know, I feel like I'm the kind of person I believe in challenging myself. You know, I don't worry about competing with other people much, but I'm all about challenging myself. And if I do something, I want to see if I can do it better the next time. All right, I got his letter. You must have received my communications regarding the beloved pastime of fishing. Okay. I understand it is customary for tutelage to require work that one does from home. I know there's a word for it, but I cannot quite recall what it is. Here, why don't you give that fishing rod on your person a try? I shall be here in case you accidentally fall in.
Farewell.
Okay. Fishing? Blah, blah, blah. Building place. Recipes. Hodari. Mining too. Okay. Do I just find a spot and go fishy doodle? Ah! I died. Okay. Let's see. Hold down to aim your cast or release to cast. Wait for a fish bite before you see a large splash. The fish will nibble 3 times. Left and right. Okay, I think I understand this. No. Wait. Okay. Wait. I feel like I need that tutorial again. Okay. Don't forget to eat when your focus gets low. Ah, right. Good point. Yeah. Okay. No. Oh, I think I understand. Oh, wait. No. Okay. No. No. Okay. No. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Okay. So I keep it in the thing? Yeah. Okay. 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 So what do I do now? Okay. Okay. This is why I'm not good at fishing. I should not be fishing. This is why when I went fishing in Alaska, I couldn't catch any salmon except one that was almost already dead. Oh, I got it! A gillyfin! Okay. I did it. I caught something. Okay, that's good. I succeeded in some way, shape, or form. Okay. This is why I'm not good at fishing. Hold on, Froggy, I'm coming.
Humans call me
Alright. I've
Aina.
crafted many adornments made from fishing implements. I find them quite aesthetically pleasing. But I do sometimes wonder if I'm the only being who feels this way. Yeah, you are. What do you think of my adornments? Okay, they're very you. They're charming. My jaw, what is it? Her jaw. They're strange, they're very you. They're charming, sure, they're charming. This pleases me. I shall remember you find my adornments charming. I caught a fish. Congratulations. I hope you are able to experience the same joy as I derived during such events. However, my time with humans taught me your kind derives limited utility from living fish. Perhaps this is a more suitable reward for your efforts. I do hope you will choose to continue this wonderful activity in the future. In the meantime, if I find anything I believe to be of interest to you, I shall have it delivered to you via mail.
I am not practiced in conversation closing rituals.
Okay. So, let's see. 6. And 3. Okay, I guess that's my focus. That'll help a bit. Let's see, map. Red. Okay. Let's go find our little male boyfriend, because he has an exclamation point, I suppose. Although we should probably go home and build the sawmill. Let's see. He's by the general store. Okay. Yeah, I'll just run on the grass. Might as well. Okay. He's over that way.
You seen any cool bugs?
You're here. Awesome. You got your belt and your smoke bombs, right? Uh-oh, what's he gonna make me do? Before we get started, you gotta take the Bug Scouts oath. I almost said Boy Scouts. Just repeat after me. I promise to honor nature and all its creatures, to always lend others a helping hand, and most importantly, tell Ani if you see anything really cool. I promise, pretty sure, you know what? I will have the second one in my head. But I'll say the first one. Awesome. Welcome to the Bug Scouts. Okay. Why don't you go try to catch something easy to start? Remember though, certain bugs will only come out at certain times.
Bye-bye.
Catching bugs. Okay. Alright, I'm going home. Map? No. Move back. Home. Okay. Oh, there's a dragon shrine. Well, that's lovely. Okay, I'm gonna go home first and build my sawmill. We're gonna invent Exxon to rate it. Oh no. Yeah, Exxon wasn't exactly a good situation, was it? Okay. Home. Alright. Commune with a shrine. Oh, that's what the dragons... See, of course, they're very smart. They know that dragon shrines. Enter. Wait. Enter. Northern. All I do is tuck and help you get some skiing. Okay. Alright. Interesting. Okay. Alright. I need to build a sawmill on my plot. Okay. Ready to craft. Make. Okay. Let's put the sawmill over here. 3. Put it right there. Craft some planks. Okay. Gonna make some planks. Sounds good. We need to build some. Yeah. Ow, my boating arm! I think we should go a little more obscure. Ow, that's my Pokemon deck dealing card arm. I don't know. Pokemon card deck dealing arm. Yeah, something like that. That's my arm that won the special award for being an arm. Okay. Oh, my Yu-Gi-Oh thumb! Right, exactly. That was my squeezing arm. You can't give cuddles without a squeezing arm. That's my champion snow shoveling arm. I just hang out here? Oh, it's just crafting on its own. How many planks do I need? 100. Okay. I have 2. Alright. Stone smelter from Hodari at mining level 2. Alright, where the heck is Hodari? That was my cabbage arm! Oh no, my cabbages! Okay, where is Hodari? Alright, there's something going on over there. There's Hodari! Okay. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna find Hodari, then I'm gonna go get some focus at the Dragon Shrine. I think that sounds like a deal. Hodari, where are you? Oh, there you are.
Yeah?
There you go with your fantastic forearms. Anything I can help you with? Yes. Oh no, my cabbages. How's that plot of land working for you? It's a little small. It's going great. I'd rather move into yours. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. It always is. Just means the payoff will be sweeter. Okay.
See you around.
Wait, I'm supposed to obtain stone smelter. Wait.
Yeah?
Shop? I can't access his store. Filling item requests. Flint. Would you like a fish? No. He doesn't want a fish. Copper ore. Smelting. I need things for smelting. Does he want a smoke bomb? No. Ugh. Yeah, you're rude. Thank you. What does he want? I don't know.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Oh, I have to earn mining level 2. Okay. I guess that's the thing. So let's go hang out. Wrong way. That way. I will never not love the cabbage guy in Avatar. The cabbage guy is awesome. Right, where's this dragon shrine? Is this it? It is not. It's pretty though. Oh, there it is. All right. Oh, look, it's Cousin Penelope. Okay. Cool. Is there something I do here? Do I just hang out? Okay. I'm going to return to the housing plot. Yes, it's Cousin Penelope. Wait till you get to meet Najima. She is adorable. I've adopted her. Oh, lovely. Okay. Ooh, this is a big one. Oh. Okay. I'll do the little ones. So yes, I think I said earlier, but I got the time wrong to see Wicked on Sunday night. So Human Mother and I are going to go tomorrow. And the time's actually... there I go. Now I'm level 2. Okay, now I can go find Hidari. Zoom, 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 zoom. So yes, Human Mother. Ow, my can leg. My can leg. That's a good one. Okay, Hidari. Where are you this time? Oh, I think he's there. Waiting to see Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I'll be honest, I have not seen any of the movies yet. Of Sonic the Hedgehog movies. I don't know if that's sacrilegious or not. Mom, Dad, Mom, Dad, Nana, and myself are going to see White Christmas. Oh, that's lovely. A 70th anniversary screening. Oh, that's so cool. Such a good movie. So, like a good Ice Dragon, I used to, before, you and Panda, you guys got to catch up before John Wick and Hedgehog Pharma debuts. Yeah. Probably. So, before everything got shut down for, you know, COVID, the pandemic, I used to work at a ski resort. And they have a movie theater on the ski resort, and I kept trying to convince them that we need to do, like, showings of White Christmas and do, like, sing-alongs. I think that would have been so cool. I heard you've been putting that pic I gave you to work. Yes. If you want to hone those skills, turn yourself Build yourself a smelter. First step is to turn rocks into bricks. Got a couple of other recipes in stock that can help too. Check them out. Alright. Thank you. Don't go and burn yourself on that. I just ran out of bandages. Okay.
Sure.
Sure. Right? You see, you understand my plight, Digiranma. They had a movie theater in a location that's full of snow, gives hot cocoa for kids, and looks great at night, and they didn't air White Christmas. I don't even know. It is so appropriate, a ski resort having a movie night for White Christmas when White Christmas is about a ski resort. It's perfect. That's like having a movie theater right next to the Shire in New Zealand and saying, let's air The Matrix. It's like, No? No Lord of the Rings? No. No. Nah. Alright. Let's see. So baffled your speeches. Right? Right? It was ideal. Oh, who's this person?
Just be quick about it.
Aspen, I presume. Yes. Don't act stunned that I know your name. I know everything that goes on in this village. Oh, he's that kind of person. Including when someone new arrives. My name is Hashin, and I'm in charge of maintaining the natural order of the woods that surround the village. Be good to the valley, and we will have no quarrel. At least tell me they were smart enough to have a Christmas movie or a winter movie around this time of the year. They barely used the theater. Like, they would put out movies.
You're scaring away all the prey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, they would put out movies sometimes. Usually whatever was in the box office or just left the box office. I was just like, look, seriously, this is an opportunity. It's a small theater, but it's big enough. You could rent out that movie theater. I think it was like $50 an hour. And they had like a PS4 or a PS5. And you could play video games in the movie theater. Like, it was very reasonably priced to rent out the theater and just watch or play a video game, whatever you wanted. It was brilliant. And they hardly ever used it. They barely advertised that it was a thing. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is an opportunity. I don't know. But who listens to me, right? I'm only smart and all. I need a Surnuk hide. Help other Palians. View open request. Fulfill requests from friends, from others. So I need some hides. Okay. They had a theater at a ski resort and they barely used it. That's like buying an arcade and saying, I just got a coat closet. I know, right? I was horrified. I was like, why are you not utilizing this better? But, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But, you know, why not? Why not use... I don't know. If you have a bow, you can get those hides from the deer around town. Ah. Right. Well, I'm going to cut down more trees. I know I need more trees. Or I need more wood, rather. Yeah, I feel like they really underutilized the guy who was in charge of. So there is the building had a movie theater and a indoor rock climbing wall, and yeah, I was just like, why aren't you using this? Like, there's never anything going on. Lean into it and have an 80s night with a ski. Right! Exactly. Make it a thing. I just, I don't know. I was like, you know, maybe I shouldn't be working in human resources. Maybe I should be running the movie theater. Not like I haven't taken classes on film, so, you know, I could be like, we're gonna have classic film night. We are gonna watch, like, all the classic black and white horror movies for Halloween. Or, you know, let's do some Rocky Horror Picture Show. Let's do some sing-alongs for the kids. Some Disney movies for the kids to sing along with. That would be great. Yeah, and an indoor rock climbing wall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You feel me on this, Digirama. Like, I was astounded. Now, they did have an indoor swim park. It's pretty cool. It is very cool. They have an indoor swim park. That got used a lot. Now, that was used a lot. Yeah, Frozen in a ski resort movie theater. You could do Frozen, Frozen 2. I think they're coming out with a third one. You could really do something with that. You could have a sing-along for the family. Like, it would be great. But I think the theater has like 100 seats. So it's not a huge theater, but it's big enough. And, what else did they have? They had an arcade. The arcade got used quite a bit. So that wasn't an issue. The Shining! Yes! It would be perfect. Yeah, you know, the three of us, Panda, Digirama, you know, we should probably be like, look, let's buy me, let's take over, you know? A mountain moral. Okay. Alright, foraging is level 3. Yeah, because, you know, one thing you learn about working at a ski resort is there are times when the weather is really bad and people, like, honestly, they can't ski because the weather is too bad for it. So, you know, might as well have movie nights, you know? Even have people just, you know, if you guys got enough money to buy at least the theater part of the resort, I got no problems helping, just the transportation part. Yeah. Well, the resort recently got bought by a company that owns a bunch of, like, big resorts. So hopefully they're utilizing it better. I really hope so, because it was so underused. Okay. Let's see. There's another moral. There's another moral. I was gonna say I'd love to be a movie curator. Kind of like the art house theater near me. Yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I think I have mail. Oh my gosh, so much mail. Dear Aspen, you just keep getting better and better with that axe of yours. Stop by later and I'll teach you how to build an even better one. Hey Aspen, heard you've been using that pick I gave you. If you want to learn more about the real life of a miner, come see me. I can teach you how to make a smelter, or copper bars, or even ceramic. It won't be easy, but it will be rewarding. Dear Aspen, I'm tired of going out hunting or bug catching, then having to drag your haul back to your house every quarter of a sun cycle. Well, look no further for your solutions than Zeki's expanded backpack. Zeki's expanded backpack greatly increases your storage space and cuts those trips home in half. Stop by Zeki's general store today. Dear Aspen, so I just met you. And this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. So I just met you and this is crazy, but you're the only person I can think of to this message. Only person I can think of to this message. Something strange is happening with the Phoenix Shrine. Nothing world ending, don't worry. But I could use your help if you've got the time. Dear Aspen, I've been doing a lot of digging in the flow battery you found. Humans use these to power all sorts of things, you know. There's this old door under the waterfall that I've been trying to open. It's just a little ways past the shrine we first met at. I've tried all sorts of things to get it open. Maybe this battery could be the key. Why don't you give it a try? This place used to belong to your people after all. You really should be the first one to check it out. Okay. Dear Aspen, I've heard you built your first sawmill. I still remember when I made my first plank. The sides were so warped and even everyone thought it was an art project. Anyway, as she has this program to encourage new builders, that means you get a rebate on the cost of that sawmill recipe. I've attached it to this letter. Don't spend it all in one place. Einar. Dear Aspen, the other day my hook caught an odd fish, and I realized that it was not a fish at all, but rather an old leather foot encasement. I put the encasement aside, and then I noticed a small bit of sun-consuming life growing inside several days later. Its determination and newness to the world reminded me of you, so I gave it to Ani to deliver to you via mail. Great. Looks like your inventory is full. Extra items are stored in overflow for a limited time to help you manage your inventory safely. Eventually, items in overflow are destroyed or replaced by new ones, so treat a full inventory seriously. Okay, I think I need to find that cat. Alright, like, I hate up the academy, but that doesn't mean I want it to go poof. It's still a movie art and snapshot of history. Yeah. Oh, Palia crashed for you. No. It's bad history, but it's still history. Yeah, we need to have more effort to preserve movies, good, bad, artsy, or mainstream. You know, it's interesting. I remember learning a bit about the history of Doctor Who. And there's a lot of episodes that got lost. Like, really early episodes of Doctor Who have gotten lost because, specifically, because what they used to do at the BBC is they would record the episodes and then they would use the same, like, tapes they recorded the episodes on to record new episodes. So there are some episodes that just simply don't exist anymore because instead of curating them, they just recorded over them. So there are entire classic Who episodes that we may never see again. I think it's tragic. Yeah, I love Doctor Who too. But yeah, I think it's really quite tragic. You know, we've lost so many episodes of Doctor Who because people were like, "Oh, well, we'll just record over it. Oh, nobody cares. Oh my gosh!" Like, no, we care. We care a lot. We're missing so many episodes because somebody was just like, oh, "Who cares? I don't care." Okay, need to find that cat. Yeah, I used to be good friends with J. Michael Tatum, which freaking awesome, because I love J. Michael Tatum. He just seems like such a cool person. And he has a big Whovian. He mentioned how many episodes are lost because of taping over old episodes. Right, exactly. He knows my pain. It makes me so sad. Because I remember I went through a period of time when I was like, I just want to watch all the Doctor Who that's out there. From the old black and white episodes on. No. There's some that still exist. But they don't all exist. Okay. Where do I find this cat? Okay. I'm gonna wander. Oh, I need to eat something, I think. Okay. 5. There we go. Alright. Where is Zeki? But he says, general store. Okay. Alright, have a good night, Sharkaflex. It was fun to have you join us, even if we didn't actually meet in the game. But we'll figure that out. We might be able to figure that out. Right, right. I remember hearing that, Digirama. They also just, like, completely destroyed that stuff. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. Have they no shame? I mean, I'm sure now they're like, oh, we screwed up. This is not the general store. This is like a furniture store. Really cute furniture. Oh, that's cute. Industrial wall decor. Watching Adventure in Time and Space, the BBC. Not being fans of Doctor Who was way before the 6th Doctor, yeah. Okay, this is a furniture store. For sure. Okay. Cool. I will come back later. I need the general store first. Ah, I think this is it. Look, there's a backpack. Alright, let's see. Oh, I can buy some Cernic hide here. But I also need to buy my expansion. Right? Winterfest Challenge. Have wonderful winter lights and all that. I'll save you some time. There's no seasonal discount here. Instead, I devised a cunning challenge to celebrate the holiday Grimalkin style. I had 7 gifts around the village for you to steal. See where I'm from? We don't just give away presents, we steal them from each other. I try not to make it too hard on you since you ain't as agile and clever as me. There's some hints. And gazebo and trim. Alright. I might not do that today. So, where do I buy this expansion? Where? Ammo pouch. That's not what I need. I need an expansion. There we go. Wow, you just got more space. Understood. Okay. Try the battery on the door behind the waterfall. Okay. Oh, she's in here.
Ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day?
Yes, I do. Oh, there you are. Good. I was starting to think I dreamed the whole thing. So yesterday, Hecla and I were examining the ruins more, trying to find out what's going on, why the humans are suddenly back. And I found a piece of statue that looked like it fell off the phoenix, so, well, I returned it. Which is when it started glowing, just like when you dropped out of the sky. It stands to reason these two events are connected. I'd like to test my hypothesis, which means I need you to go try and check out the shrine. But, only if it's convenient. The pursuit of knowledge always keeps me wide awake, so I barely need any sleep. Yawn. Okay, maybe I'm getting a little tired. She's me. Okay. Alright. So, what I think I'm gonna do... I'm gonna head back to the place. I am going to... Let's see. We'll come back to this game for sure. I want to know what happens next. Although now I'm on to 2 games that are like open world games, so that could be an issue. Well, there's no other place around the place. I reckon this must be the place, I reckon. I reckon so. Okay, so let's see if I can build the thing. Smelter. Got it. Okay. Let's set up the smelter. And that is number 6. Let's do that. Okay, and craft bars. Okay. I mean, probably not the smartest to put it next to the wood, but, you know. Okay, I've got some planks. do that. Okay. Alright, so I think what we'll do... Okay, he wants to talk. And I think we have another ad bit coming up. So this must be the place. You didn't get directions from Ryoga. Oh my god, Ryoga. My mom, her sense of direction, human mother's direction, it's Ryoga level. It's scary sometimes. All right.
Finally, someone nice to talk to.
I see that you've been quite busy around here. That's good. Very, very good. So, do you have anything for me? Like what? Like a housewarming gift, of course. I think you have it backwards. Is that not how humans do it? How strange. Well, here in Kilima, when someone new moves into the neighborhood, and there's an ad break. There's an ad break. Okay, I'll hold on for the ad break. Give me a sec. I will be right back. La 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 la. And perfect timing. So, yeah. So, human mother's the kind of person who, if you want to give her directions, you pretty much give her the opposite directions and she'll get there correctly. Otherwise, she's gotten lost on the 5-minute drive it takes to get me from here, from the library cave, to the dragon clinic. It's a 5-minute drive, and she'll get lost. All right. Let's give them drive in totals of ads. All right. McCormick, sports ball wear. Ziploc, Fortnite again, Bonobos, PS5, Amazon Prime, Space Goonies, the new Star Wars show, Nissan naming their car Kicks for some reason. Yeah, interesting. Some of these ads are pretty goofy. All right, Kenley, let's see. Well, here in Kilima, when someone new moves into the neighborhood, they go around with small gifts for their new neighbors, snacks and toys and the like. I think they do that in Japan. Like, you give everybody soba noodles when you move into, like, an apartment building or something. I've heard that. If you ever want to be invited to one of my wife's dinner parties, I'd suggest making the rounds.
You're always welcome at City Hall.
Okay, just as long as it's not the Coke AI ad, I'm good. Okay, giving is an important part of Palia culture and a way for you to show your appreciation to your new neighbors. Each NPC has different likes and dislikes. Get to know them better and find out what they'd like to receive as a gift, or experiment and see what they'll accept. You can give each villager one gift per real-world day. If you try to give a villager the same thing twice in a week, they won't accept it. Variety is the spice of life. Okay. All right. Okay. Battery. Is that this? Bahari Bay? Kilima Village. Okay. Alright, so does that mean if I go all the way opposite direction, I get to Bahari Bay? Was that what it was saying? I think so. I think that, yeah. I believe that's water? Map. Okay. You know what? Let's... Oh, where is the blah 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 blah? Okay. Let's do this first. Let's go over here. Alright. My tasks are Ashura to Bahari Bay. News. Ancient battery. Door behind the waterfall. Okay. I want to find the waterfall. Where is the waterfall? Matches Hollow, Mare Pond Ruins, Gilligan Cove. I guess we go to Bahari Bay for that. Phoenix Falls. Wait, Phoenix Falls. Okay. I think that was it, right? The Phoenix Shrine. Ancient Battery. Phoenix Falls. So, wait. Phoenix Falls. Phoenix Shrine. Okay. Got it. So I'm going to be turning right. Okay. So I'm going to be taking a right over here. Okay. I hate to do this, but I gotta get ready to review Kamen Rider Black on Twitter. Till next time. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you have to go, go. I'm planning on finishing up momentarily anyway. I just want to get one more activity done. This is... Battery, door, waterfall. That's the big old waterfall. What? Wait. What happened? Wait. What? I'm clipping into the... What? Can I just clip out of here? What? That was weird. Why am I clipping through everything? This is weird. Why am I clipping through this area like this? Okay. Can I unclip? Can I climb up something? What? Okay, game. You know what? Maybe this is a good stopping point, because I think the game is just glitching right now. Gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm clipping pretty badly. Alright, what I'm gonna do... let's see. What do I do to get out of the game? Let's see... Alright, friends, server... Requests. Oh, thank you. Party. What's this? Okay. Escape. Alright, inventory. Got a lot of stuff. Map. Community. News. Star collections. Okay. I think... Oh, there we go. Unstuck. Thank you. Wait. I don't think that helped me. Let's try again. Unstuck. Oh my god, I am so stuck. What the heck? Is this person going through the same thing as I am? Help? This is wild. Okay. Alright. I am going to... I'm just gonna quit game for now. Because it's getting late and I should get some rest. But that, yeah, that was something. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We're gonna hang out here for a sec. Yeah. I think the game has a little issue. But that's okay. I think that's a good stopping point for the night anyway. Let's see who we can raid. So yeah, I will see Wicked with Human Mother tomorrow. I will apologize if I start randomly singing songs for the next few days. That happens to me with musicals sometimes. Let's see who we can raid. Okay. I see Elsie Vixen. Yakuza 0. Alright, are we thinking more leaning toward game or leaning toward art? I did have fun. I absolutely had fun, despite the clipping at the end. That's an enjoyable game. It feels very much like I could end up getting really absorbed into it, the way I did with Animal Crossing. So yeah. Let's see. Alright, let's go over to Swimming Link. Swimming Link is a good friend. So we'll go over and say hi to Swimming. Because Swimming's a friend. Alright. We are going to raid Swimming. Because Swimming is cool. Yes, there we go. Swimming is such a funny character. I adore Swimming. Alright, raid now. Alright, so I will see you next time. Have a good night. Bye.